What you see behind me may seem a little extreme, but trust me, to these guys, it's just routine. Even so, routine can turn tragic. Just ask Nate Adams, the 2011 gold medalist in the freestyle event at the X Games. He's returning for the first time since suffering one of the gnarliest of crashes that wrecked nearly half his body. So it's my first time here. Okay. I tried doing my research, and I read you had this gnarly injury. Yeah. I know you're probably sick and tired of talking about it, but I'm intrigued. I want to hear about what happened and what's it like coming back.
What happened was it was just a few weeks after last year's Summer X Games, and crashed on a fairly easy trick. Not even a backflip or a spin or anything, but washed the front end on the landing and to the left, and just planted my shoulder in the ground, and it came out of socket. And when it came out of socket, it broke the humerus, bicep tendon, labrum, rotator cuff, all the usual stuff. But all the usual shoulder dislocation stuff. But it severed the axillary nerve, which I guess delivers your brain signals to all your, I guess it's just like posterior, lateral, and medial deltoid. So all my deltoid went away. So I figured out that the nerve was severed, had the nerve repaired, and now I'm about 4 months after nerve repair surgery and starting to get a little muscle back, but it's still just weak and little. Like it's super atrophied, and it looks like skin and bone. So
out of all your years riding, was that by far the most severe accident?
I'd have to say, I think because the nerve severed, I was laying on the ground, I was like, okay, my collarbone's either shattered or my shoulder's out of socket, and it didn't ever really hurt that bad. Compared to I broke my femur.
Did you have just a lot of adrenaline going?
Yeah, but it still was about 2 hours by the time I got to the hospital and got it put back in socket, and it still never hit like I thought it was going to. In terms of pain, it wasn't, but in terms of just the rehab and trying to figure out what was wrong, and my shoulder's getting smaller as the months go on. I don't know what's happening, and it was the most difficult as far as just finding out how to fix it. The femur, they just put a rod in it and you're done.
So what's the journey been like making your way back here? Is it rewarding to be here today?
Yeah, 2 months ago, a month ago, I didn't think I was even going to be able to ride here, and had a big crash actually about 3 weeks ago getting ready for this. And just
what happened?
My bike hit neutral, jumping through a rhythm section, getting ready for a speeding style. So just had a false neutral. 20 years I've been riding a dirt bike. I've never had that happen to me. So it's one of those things. Went over the bars, right onto my shoulder, put me out. I just had to, take about a week and a half off again. And it's just been a real trial, man. So to be here and to go out and get that first practice I just did, that's the first time I've ridden under any type of pressure or in an arena, and in about 10, 11 months. So it just.
Are you nervous for tonight's performance?
I was nervous before first practice. Now it's really loosened up, and I'm kind of smiling a little bit more. But just to be here and be competing, it's an accomplishment itself. It feels good.
I've talked to a lot of the guys here, and I was like I said, it's my first time here. Motocross seems to be incredibly dangerous. Out of all the games here at X Games, do you think it's probably the most dangerous?
Man, it's hard to say, but I just think, yeah, it definitely is. We don't have a roll cage, or when we come off, it's just it just can get ugly really quick on a dirt bike. So
what's going through your mind when you're going on those jumps? How high does your bike get on those jumps?
I'd say the L1, the ramp that's elevated already maybe 10 or 12 feet in the air. You're probably 40, 50 feet in the air. I don't know. I've never really measured, but when you're out there, it's just like any other task. If you're any sport you're playing or a video game, you're just in the zone. You're not really thinking like, oh, I'm 50 feet in the air. You're just thinking about the task at hand and getting it done. So, yeah.
One of the little reporters over here told me that you're very meticulous. You're unlike any of the other riders. Tell me about your little notebook and I saw your diagram.
Yeah, I get asked about my notebook more than anything probably, but I just, I don't know, it's how I learned in school. I have to write everything down, draw it out, repeat it, repetition to get to memorize stuff. So, sometimes we're at events and the judges will say, we don't want to see the same run. If we have to do 5 runs tonight, we don't want to see the same run over again. So I'll plan 5 different runs. So I'll just go through them all, have them all in my head before the night starts, and that way it's just a lot less stressful during the event. So it's just how I learn, it's how I memorize. I have to write it down, so that's how I get down, write it down.
Do you have any tricks up your sleeve for the freestyle tonight?
Oh, no. Everybody knows what I got. I'm just trying to get my run from last year that I had back. So that's like what I said. Just to be here and be competing is good enough for me.
I also noticed a lot of these guys have nicknames. Do you have one, especially coming back from your injury?
Patchy is my nickname. Actually, it's because remember that Robin Williams movie, Patch Adams, where he's a doctor? Yeah, but I think it's because, I got that. It's because I'm always getting patched up. So Patchy's my nickname. And Nate Dogg. No one named Nate is not Nate Dogg, so those are the two.
Take some real guts to come back from an injury like that. Patchy, we wish you the best of luck. Reporting from X Games 2012 for Crave Online, I'm Josh Helmuth.